And back again. Not much today, basically because I'm lazy. So what I'm doing is I'm just getting an eyeball on something that Wayno on Datsun has been bugging me about from just about day one. I don't have the toe in set there very accurately, and you can see I've got it kind of rather precariously held up there. Basically what I'm doing though is I'm looking at building it from the upper arms down, okay? And as Wayne suggested, put 1/8 inch of shims in here so that way I can still adjust a little positive. And right now that is sitting at 89.5, okay? Which the 1/8 inch positive would allow it to come back. So anyway, it's just really close, okay? Whoops, I don't have anything solid enough there to mount it up any better, basically. But as you can see, let's see if you can. I'm going to turn the ball joint in there a bit just so I can get it up closer. And it looks like, whoa, I just bumped that good, darn it. Looks like I'll have to lengthen the arm probably close to 1 inch, you know, which is, man, you know, I think I'm going to have to put a stock length arm back in here. And they're symmetrical other than, basically what I'm looking at is the other arm sitting here in this pile over here. They're symmetrical other than the steering stop, okay? Certainly close enough for me to put a ball joint back in that one and throw it in here to get a better idea how to do that. So maybe tomorrow, maybe next time I'm out in the shop, maybe what I'll do is I'll weld a couple of little brackets together and see if I can get this supported a little bit more rigidly. And yeah, okay, well, the advantage here is that by having the upper arm without all the spacers, one, I don't have to build a spacer back here. I don't have to worry about the length of the bolts and all that kind of stuff. But the big thing is the shock clearance. Okay, all the grief I've had in the last couple videos trying to clearance the shocks. I think you can see here too that even with the shock out at that kind of angle, let's get an eyeball here. It's going to be roughly right about there. You can see that it wouldn't require any bending on the upper control arm like I did to that flange. Okay, so that should basically make it 0 modifications. Now, the downside, and the reason I didn't start that way before is because I wanted to start from track width and work backwards and design it so that it maintained stock track width. Wayne suggested that he only had to lengthen his by 5/8 of an inch to match with unmodified lower control arms. Okay, which then makes it stand to reason that I would only have to shorten the bottoms 5/8 of an inch. Okay, as I think I've said before in previous videos, with unmodified lower arms, it pushes the track width out 1.25 inches per side. Basically, then, if it's a 5/8 modification, it cuts that in half. I just kind of have to eyeball and look and see whether 5/8 is a sacrifice I can make. With stock rims on the truck, really shouldn't be an issue. But all right, we're looking at my wife's 521 here. A lot of guys on Datsun are already familiar with this one. It's just pretty plain Jane, nothing too fancy. But anyway, the issue here is guys who are running tires that you know, stick all the way out to the wheel well there. Pushing it out 1.25 inches with unmodified lower control arms, that would create an issue. Okay, now at stock ride height, there's certainly enough travel there, and the camber would get pulled in enough if the suspension was bottomed and stuff like that. Maybe not. The upper arms are at a down angle. Anyway, there shouldn't be enough travel at full ride height there to hit the fender well. Okay, with stock rims sit in quite a bit further, and if I had fenders on mend, I would throw some rims on and show that, but I don't. So that's the issue. This truck is really well balanced with these rims as far as how they sit with the tires, you know, in the wheel well and stuff like that. If I put stock rims on, skinnier tires, the difference, it wouldn't be as noticeable. It would be in closer, in the wheel well more, and you probably wouldn't notice the difference as much. So I'll have to play with that a little bit more and see if 5/8 of an inch is tolerable.